Alright guys, we have the RGB Halo 7-inch round Harley Davidson Daymaker Bluetooth Angel Eye. I purchased it from Amazon yesterday. I had a little bit of trouble with it, with the install. I had a good talk with the company. We got all figured out. And they said that some people have had a hard time installing it. So I'm going to make an install video showing you how to wire it and the right app to use and how to get it all synced up. And as you can see, it's all controlled by Bluetooth, so I can change the color, pretty much any color in the rainbow. I can adjust the brightness on it. Well, there we go. And that's all controlled off an app. Here I'm using it on an iPad just so I can record with my phone. So I've obviously already put this in, so I'm gonna go ahead and blow it all apart, get it all out, and we'll start from the beginning, most likely where you guys are gonna be. So let me get this out. I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, so the tools and parts you're gonna need for this install, they're all pretty simple stuff, just some hand tools, some wire strippers and crimpers. You're gonna need some 16 gauge by 14 gauge butt connectors. You could solder these wires. I chose not to for no reason other than I don't really want to solder them. You're gonna need a voltmeter. Doesn't have to be anything special. It's just got to be able to read DCV 20, so you can find a good power and ground for your Halo Bluetooth connector. Some heat shrink tubing, an owner's manual. It's always good anytime you're tearing into your bike, just in case you get in, forget where something goes, or anything like that. And then while I'm in there, on these 2001 or pretty much any Road King, they're well nuts is what holds these headlights in, and they're rubber, and they've got just a little bit of brass in them for threads, and over time they just degrade, start going bad. So I figure while we're in there, might as well go ahead and replace some of those that have fell out. And these are just replacement screws for a couple of them that I've lost. So it's all pretty easy stuff. You're gonna need a lighter too to shrink your tubing, or you could use a heat gun, whatever you prefer. So let's go ahead and see what came in this headlight. Alright guys, we're back. I got the headlight off, so this will be hopefully where you guys are at. Getting the headlight out, it's not a hard deal. If for some reason you don't understand or don't know how to do it, or maintenance manual helps a lot, or I'm sure there's 100,000 videos on YouTube about how to do it. So go ahead and get your headlight off, and then we'll come over here, see what came in the box with the light, all the connectors, and what you're going to do with them, and how to route them. So then also in the kit, this is going to be your wiring. Your wire you run. This end will plug into your Bluetooth power pack that you'll have to wire. I'll show you that in a minute. And this end is going to connect to the Angel Eye itself right here. Also, they sent a couple different connectors. So this is the connector you're going to have to use if you have a 14 and newer touring bike, I believe. So one of these right here says on your blue is going to be your low beam. You'll plug that in, and then your red is your high beam, and that's going to convert your 14 and up dual headlight bulbs into your regular or not regular, your stock plug for this headlight. So you'll plug those into your stock harness, and that'll plug in to your Angel Eye. And also in the package, they send a couple little LED bulbs. This is says just a gift, just free. It's a cool little addition they throw in. And then also they send instructions. Now this shows your wiring diagram. See your stock plug here. That's going to plug into 14 and older Harleys. And then you're going to run this cable. And this little Bluetooth power pack, I already have it wired up. And I don't really feel like unwiring it. So that's going to connect to a ground. So this black wire comes up here, comes right in through this heat shrink into my crimp. And then this red wire right here comes up, and I piggybacked it off my auxiliary lights here. And that runs into my harness right there, and that's where I pick my power up for it. But we'll get more into that in a minute. Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I decided to wire my Bluetooth color light controller up to power. So I do have auxiliary lights here, and so this runs a secondary harness. So right here, this connector will go down up through here and come up into my auxiliaries here. So I can take my stock harness here, has this connector that would run auxiliaries if you have it. And it plugs in here and it sends power to my auxiliaries when my ignition switch is on. So I decided I didn't want my Angel Eye to run when my bike's not. I don't want it to kill the battery. So I decided to run it through there. That's how I get my ignition power. So the my red Bluetooth controller wire here, the solid red one, will run to that Bluetooth controller, and I snipped and then crimped the two power wires here together in there, and then I put heat shrink on it just so if for some reason water were to get into this housing here, it's not going to get into my connector and I don't have to worry about it. So I did that on both sides. And then on also coming off your stock harness here, your stock headlight harness, there's an unused ground cable or ground plug. I'm not quite sure what that's for. I wasn't using it, and using my multimeter here, I was able to pick up my power wire here and figure out which one of these completed a 12-volt circuit when my switch was on. So I verified that this cable would work. I went ahead and cut it here, put both connectors together, or both wires together, and then crimped them. And I did the same heat shrink here, just so water wouldn't get in it. So if you don't have this, your auxiliaries here, you should still have this auxiliary harness, and you can power still can be picked up off of it, even without it being plugged into auxiliaries. So if you only have the single headlight, it should still work. I'll go ahead and demonstrate the halo for you guys without this plugged in, so you can verify that it would work for yours if you didn't have the auxiliary. So here I have my Bluetooth connector or controller. It's wired up. That auxiliary port I was telling you guys about, or plug, sorry, is not plugged into the harness here. So when I turn my switch on, see, power on the bike. Auxiliaries do not come on because it's not plugged in here. And I have the red end of that cable that they sent plugged into the controller. So you'll follow that up. You come over here to the Angel Eye, and it'll plug into that connector. Screw it down. It's watertight. And there is the halo. Yeah, so that's where I picked my power up. So if I go ahead and I'll turn my ignition off here, it turns the ring off. That's how I wanted to do it. You could probably pick it up from your battery, wired into a switch, so you could leave it on with the bike power off. I chose not to do it that way. It's just my personal preference. So if you guys feel savvy enough, you can go ahead and do it that way. All you'd need to do is pick up power and ground from your battery, run it up on Road Kings, and I think most touring bikes there are switches. So you could probably run power into there and pick up power from this switch. And so obviously when it was off, it wouldn't connect the circuit, so the halo wouldn't come on. You'd flip it on and the halo would come on. I decided not to do it that way. So I'm going to show you the rest of the install. Right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and see everything they sent in the package, and we're going to explain what you do with them. It came real nicely packaged. Didn't have any problem, wasn't any damage. Lots of styrofoam in there, so you don't have to worry about that. So obviously, first you got your actual day maker. It's got your angel eye in it. On the back, it is vented here. LEDs get a little warm, so that's to help cool them down here. And then you got your stock Harley headlight plug, up to 14, I believe, till they started running dual bulbs. And then this connector is going to be your power for your angel eye. Alright guys, so here we have the angel eye headlight from Amazon. This is the day maker I had on my bike before. It worked fine. It was great, but I really like this angel eye, so I decided to go with it. So this headlight is locked into this adjuster ring. There's a screw here, a screw here, and a screw here you're gonna have to take out. So I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so I took the 3 screws out, took my old day maker out, set it over here to the side. So now I'm going to take the angel eye day maker, and if you look real close, it says, I don't know if you guys can see that, DOT. So that's going to be the top of your headlight. So when you set this in your trim ring, not trim ring, sorry, your mounting ring here, you're going to want to make sure that is lined up with the top. And you know this is the top because this is going to be your adjuster. It's on a spring here, so you'll tighten that to bring the headlight up once you get it mounted. So you're going to have one of those on the top, the right side, and the left side. There's not one on the bottom. So make sure you line this DOT right here, stamping up, with this top one. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this trim ring, or sorry, I keep calling it a trim ring. We're going to take this ring that holds the headlight in, and we're going to mount it back on here. So we're going to put the 3 screws back in. I'll do that real quick. I'll get right back with you guys. Alright guys, we're back. I got the ring all attached, the headlight all attached to the ring, so now it doesn't fall out obviously. For sakes of just keeping this video short, sweet, to the point, I'm going to go ahead and install this headlight back onto my bike. And as you can see, I have the Bluetooth controller here tucked back into the cluttered ass Harley Davidson Road King housing. So then I'm going to take this connector with the wire that they supplied. The red end is going to hook up to the controller here, and then this black end will connect back to my day maker. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'll get back with you guys about the app to use and how to get it all synced up and ready to rock. Alright guys, just one more thing real quick. So before you get this all mounted back up and get your trim rings on, make sure all your headlights work. And you don't want to get all that stuff back on and have to tear it all back apart because you might have got sent a dud. I don't think that's going to happen, but better safe than sorry. So there's your low beams and then your high beams. So when you wire it up the way I have it done is when you put your high beams on like a later model touring bike, it turns your auxiliary lights off. These two right here. And since we have the halo ring here wired up through that, it's going to turn your halo off. But I've had these day makers for probably a year, and I can honestly say you'll never turn your high beams on, because these side beams here, that's where you get all your brightness out to the sides, where you're going to see your deer and off to the side of the road. And honestly, it projects more light out with those on. So if that really bothers you that much, you can, instead of picking up power for your angel eye through the auxiliary harness, you can find the positive on your headlight harness, and you can pinch into that, and that'll make sure your ring doesn't turn off. I personally don't ride with my high beams on ever, so I wasn't that concerned about it. It's easier to get this way. You're not going to mess with your headlight wiring. So just to forewarn you, if it really bothers you that much, like I said, just pick up your headlight harness power, and then you can still grab that same ground I showed you. So when you turn your high beams off, it turns your auxiliaries back on and turns my angel eye on. I'm going to go ahead and get this button back up the rest of the way, and I'll get back with you about the... Alright guys, I got my trim ring back on. Got it all buttoned up. Go ahead and verify it still works, just in case. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the correct app and how to sync this up to your phone, so you can change the ring. It'll change the music. You can pick a color off a picture. You can do all kinds of stuff. We'll go over here to the workbench, and I'll go ahead and delete the app off the iPad, and I'll walk through it with you, show you what you need to search, and we'll get it all done. So we're over here at the workbench. Don't mind that. I just scribbling to make sure I knew what I was talking about. So here's our instructions. Here it says search the app name SL-BL light, and the logo will be red here. We're not going to use that as of today, which is 3/19/18. This app is not currently working for the headlight, will not connect. So through talking with the owner, he gave me another app to use, and you're going to go ahead and search Tuner168. That's the creator of the app. So we'll go ahead over here to the iPad. We'll type in Tuner168, and we'll search that. Now pull it up on iPhone apps. Now this is gonna be this one. It's gonna be a blue background, white light bulb with a Bluetooth. It's in Chinese or some kind of Mandarin. Don't worry about it. All the controls are the same exact thing as this app here. I believe they're the same exact app, just obviously different languages, but we're not going to worry about that. Don't even stress out about that being in Chinese. We're going to go ahead and download this app here. And I'll get back with you guys once this. So we got the app downloaded. Go ahead and click on it. So I have the power on my bike, so it'll power the controller, the Bluetooth controller, so it'll put out a signal, so we'll be able to pick it up. So we're going to come back here to the app. We're going to click on scan. Your light's going to pop up. Now click on it, make sure it's check marked. Click the back arrow, and here it'll be. You can click on that. And then you're going to come up here to these dots. You're going to click, and hit connect. And now it'll say connected up there. You go ahead and turn your key light on, and that'll turn your colors on. So then you can click on your middle app here, and then you can, there we go. So now you can drag your finger around, pick pretty much whatever color you want to be. It's got all kinds of cool features. So you can click on here, and you can pull up a photo and click on like the grass, and it'll make your halo that color. Or you can just stick with this. So it's got a whole guide on the app too. You just go back, click on there, and you can click on your user guide here. And it'll pull up all 8 pages of a guide or a manual. It'll show you step by step how to do this, and then also you can come down. Let me find it real quick, guys. Click here, and that's a picture you can pull up, and you can match it to any of those pictures. You can hook it up to your music, so it'll flash to the beat of your music. You can change the name of your bulb. You can do all kinds of stuff, guys. So that's the app. That's the install. So that's going to be it for the install. It's nothing too hard. Definitely changes the look of your bike. It's very unique. It's going to be something that you're not going to see a lot of. So I definitely recommend this product. I'm going to put the link for it down in the description, where you can purchase it from Amazon. It's a great company. They have great customer service. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Thanks for sticking with it. Hope it wasn't too hard to follow. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment them down below. And when I see them, I'll get back with you. All right, guys. Take it easy.